As if we needed another reason to hate the insurance industry. As if this industry needed another reason for people not to trust them. The CEO of Allstate, he produces a colossal turd on one of the biggest days of the college football season, on a day where the maximum number of eyes would be fixated on the television. The CEO of Allstate, he produces a gigantic turd where he perfectly demonstrates why no one, and I mean no one, has any respect for the insurance industry. How many times do we have to see the same story? When are they going to learn? How many examples is it going to take? How many times are these woke corporations going to bury themselves in the woke cemetery? I mean, there's no more room left. The Undertaker is working overtime. He has been busy burying media careers, and now Allstate is sending in a request for the Undertaker to bury an entire corporation. You know, we went over to my sister's house on New Year's Eve, and while we were over there, I was talking to one of my cousins about insurance. He feels the same way that I do, the same way I'm sure all of you guys feel about insurance. It's a complete ripoff. But I was telling him how I didn't have health insurance when I quit my job to pursue YouTube full time, and how I wouldn't have health insurance today if I didn't have a family. Now, obviously, I would have catastrophic coverage, but I wouldn't be paying out the ass every month for some doofus policy that fights harder to not provide me service than it does to provide what I'm actually paying for. I was telling my cousin how much cheaper things used to be when I didn't have insurance. I'd go to the dentist for a cleaning, $75. When I go to the dentist now with insurance, it's $100. When I went for routine doctor's visits, they had a hell of a lot more leeway with the pricing when I did not have health insurance. Like I said, it is a complete ripoff. The insurance industry doesn't need assistance when it comes to being hated. The insurance industry doesn't need assistance when it comes to people having no respect for them. Yesterday afternoon, I was prepping my video, I think it was on the WNBA, had the Sugar Bowl on in the background. Right before the game is about to start, I noticed that ESPN had the face of some dork on my TV screen. This dude looked like he had just stepped off the Death Star with his co-pilot, Adam Silver. I thought he was about to start speaking Martian. I was waiting for the closed captioning on the screen, but to my surprise, he was speaking perfect English. I'm sure Allstate stockholders wish he was speaking Martian because they lost $2 a share this morning after this commercial aired. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Fluffernoggin. We're in the midst of college bowl season, the NFL playoffs less than 2 weeks away. Usually, I'm not a big snacker, but I do enjoy snacks while watching games. One of my favorite snacks, beef jerky. But the problem with a lot of beef jerky, it feels like my jaw has been bench pressing Shamu after I eat it. I no longer have that problem because I have been snacking on Kraft beef jerky from Fluffernoggin. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell is a Fluffernoggin? Fluffernoggin produces Kraft beef jerky made with 100% organic brisket right here in America. You don't have to worry about consuming cows raised by Mahmoud on a farm halfway across the world. Fluffernoggin's cows are bred and raised right here in the USA. Fluffernoggin comes in a variety of flavors, ranging from sweet, savory, spicy, and sometimes all the above. Right now, Fluffernoggin is offering 2 different specials. You can use promo code BTL50 to receive 5 bags for $50, or BTL100 to receive 11 bags for $100. Both offers come along with free shipping, so click the link in the description below. Elevate your snack game with Fluffernoggin today. As of the recording of this video on Friday afternoon, ratings have yet to be released for the Sugar Bowl, considering the fact that the Pop-Tart Bowl, and yes, that is a real bowl, I'm not making that shit up, the exploitation of college football has gotten so bad, 2 unlucky teams every year fight for the prestigious right to be the champion of shitty snacks. Is it any wonder Why players have no interest in these meaningless bowl games? But anyway, considering the fact that the Pop-Tart Bowl drew almost 7 million viewers, I think it's safe to say 8, 9, 10 million people were watching the Sugar Bowl yesterday, which means 8 to 10 million people saw this.
Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences.
First of all, could they not find a better spokesman for this mouth fart? I would imagine that Allstate is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They got plenty of money. And you mean to tell me they couldn't hire a professional? They couldn't hire a model with a radio voice? They couldn't hire a sympathetic actress who belongs to multiple marginalized groups? You mean to tell me the best Allstate could come up with was an atrocious commercial featuring Dr. Doofus? When I saw this yesterday, the first thing that came to my mind, get this dork off my TV. If there is one thing I can't stand, it's fake sympathy, fake empathy. I don't know who is handling marketing and public relations for Allstate, but they should be fired, and they should take that doofus CEO right along with them. That was not a sympathetic message to the people of New Orleans. That was a lecture to America. According to Allstate, America needs to be in rehab. We need to conquer our addiction to divisiveness and accept people for their imperfections and their differences. Now keep in mind, the CEO of Allstate is telling us this after a terrorist attack. Obviously, normal people are outraged. Obviously, normal people are pissed off. And the CEO of Allstate had to know that. He had to know that this would be the response. There have been some reports claiming that thousands of customers are canceling their policies with Allstate. Me personally, I hope that number of cancellations reaches the millions. But this doofus CEO, Tim Wilbur, Tom Williner, who cares? It doesn't matter what his name is. Even though he looks like a dork, he's no dummy. You don't become the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation by being a dumbass. He had to know the public would be outraged by this. After everything that's happened the last few years, the NBA ordering a double dose of the supersized woke wiener and never recovering, with ratings at CNN, MSNBC circling the pooper, with the very network that aired this commercial, the worldwide leader in woke, ESPN. ESPN has been struggling for years now. You can't convince me that the CEO of Allstate did not know that the public would be outraged by this. So the question is, why would he do it? Why would he intentionally do something that could hurt his company? Why would he intentionally do something that could cost his stockholders millions of dollars? Maybe he thought those things weren't as important as pushing the agenda. Do you really think it's a coincidence that woke corporations and the mainstream media are pushing the same narrative? I'm surprised the CEO of Allstate wasn't bragging about providing insurance coverage to the truck. Don't you worry, guys, this truck has full coverage. Like I told you guys yesterday, the media is presenting this as a truck attack. This truck is dangerous. The streets of America are no longer safe. Fully insured vehicles are on a rampage attacking pedestrians with seatbelts. I just don't think it's coincidental that they're all pushing the same narrative. Since Allstate was the primary sponsor of the Sugar Bowl, I'm sure they felt compelled to give a response to what happened, but it doesn't take a PhD in PR to figure out the appropriate response. This should have been simple. When it comes to marketing, corporations often take advantage of trends. What is one of the biggest trends in America since the election? The rise of patriotism. The re-election of Donald Trump, it gave a lot of people a renewed sense of patriotism, a renewed sense of hope. Now, I've never worked in public relations, but I could have drafted something better than what Allstate presented. What happened on New Year's Eve in New Orleans was absolutely unacceptable. I speak for the thousands of employees at Allstate when I say our thoughts and our prayers are with the victims and their families. Terrorism has no place in our country. We want to express our condolences, and we also want to help with the recovery. Allstate is proud to announce a donation of $100,000 to the victims and their families. Should have been that simple. Over the last few months, Zion Williamson has been a pariah in New Orleans, but today, the entire city is showing their love and expressing their gratitude to Zion because he donated $100,000 to the families. But Allstate, they couldn't do that. They had an agenda to push. Allstate wants to lecture us about divisiveness while filming a 30-second commercial that was meant to divide us. We'll see what happens with Allstate going forward. Could this be another Bud Light? Could this be another Target? Honestly, I don't know. It's a hell of a lot easier to boycott consumer products. If Bud Light pisses you off, you just go buy another beer. Or if you're smart, you just stop drinking beer altogether. If Target pisses you off, you stop shopping at Target. With insurance, it's a little bit more difficult. You got to find a new policy. The new policy has to be cheaper or equivalent to what you're already paying. It's just a lot harder to organize against an insurance company. But that does not mean it is impossible. The question is, will it happen? You tell me. Also, give me your thoughts on this Allstate commercial. Are they this out of touch, or do you think this was intentional? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. See you guys tomorrow.